Hello, Internet. So yeah, I'm here for my comic book talk. I've been a couple of weeks off. What I'm doing basically is essentially, when I put up the podcast one, that'll just be that comic book talk for that week without me having to do a video on that. And it'll be like a fill-in for these because, if I'm doing a podcast about it, talking about it, comics anyway, it might as well just not. It would be redundant to do one of these two. But this week, since I didn't do one last week, and then I'm going to do that, those issues I read last week, and then besides that, I'm also going to do what I picked up this week. So I'll start with last week, and then, because I read the books a week ago, my memory might not be as, oh, what happened, blah, 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 but I still remember how I felt about them, so, but yeah, so I'll do my three from last week, and then I'll do my three from this week. I guess I'll make it a two-parter, because, I tend to ramble on, so I want to keep it short. Part one shouldn't be that bad, because I'll just do them all in one take, because, whatever. And yeah, and then this week I picked up, because it's Wednesday, so the new stuff just came out. So, I picked up Daredevil 36, Punisher number 2, Uncanny X-Men 17, X-Men 11, and Unity number 4. So, my top 3 for that one, or what I'm going to be reading, as far as the 3 books for the week, I don't know yet. Definitely Uncanny. Probably Uncanny Daredevil, and I guess maybe Punisher, because X-Men's kind of all over the place right now. Maybe Unity, because I kind of want to go back and read all 4 issues. I've been sitting on the first 3. I haven't read them, so I think I'll do that actually, just to get some variety. Okay, let's get back to 2 weeks ago with I'll start off with X-Force number 1, because I did not enjoy this book. So let's just get it out of the way, the bad first. So what happened at the end of Cable and X-Force and Uncanny X-Force, they had the Vendetta crossover, and then they were combining the teams into one X-Force unit. And so this is the first issue where you have, Cable, Psylocke, Phantom X, and Morrow. They're going after a target, and then it's really weird because Morrow wasn't on the team before, and then you're introduced to her, but I didn't really enjoy her personality. And her lines just came off as she's kind of a loose cannon, off the hinge. Didn't really sit well with the chemistry of the team to me. And so the whole time you just have this narration from her perspective, and it's just about, and she basically just uses a music analogy and how she moves through life from beat to beat, like a drum, a never ending drum solo. So you have that going on. And then, the whole time, there's, dialogue, between her and other characters, and, nobody really takes her seriously, and kind of, just blows her off. But that was weird, too, because it's okay, what you guys are doing, I'm why is she even here? But, whatever. So we start off, and you have Cable fighting some giant, I don't know, it's revealed to be some Chinese superpowered person, but they're thrown down, and then, in the off in the periphery, you have Psylocke and Morrow. Morrow has a sniper rifle, and then Psylocke's, okay, take the shot. And Morrow never takes a shot because whatever, it was weird. But yeah, they're doing that, and then there's someone that is strapped to the back of the Chinese dude, and then, or this Chinese superhuman person thing. And they have a flashback to when Cable was briefing them on the mission and why they're doing it. So apparently in Alexandria there was some incident. Explosions happen. A black ops team rolls in, takes something, rolls out, and then they leave behind some mutant to take the fall pretty much. And so Psylocke saw, okay, this happened, but what does that have to do with X-Force? I mean, we're supposed to be, or what is our focus this time around, for our team? Because I said, at the end of Uncanny X-Force and Cable and X-Force, they kind of rolled the teams in to one team. So you have Psylocke and Cable and their teams that they had in both of those books for the last series in this book. But yeah, Cable's well, mutants don't really have a nation, so we're just gonna go out and defend everybody that might be at risk from any threats or anything that's gonna make any blowback come back to our way. So that's what they're doing. and then it goes back to the battle scene with the Chinese dude thing. And then, the person that was, captured or whatever that was on the back of the thing is, like, coming to, and then all of a sudden there's, like, an explosion. The dude's, head blows up, who's fighting Cable, and then it's revealed to be Phantom X, who just shot him in the head, so yeah. Then we're back at X-Force HQ, and then Psylocke and Marrow and Cable are still talking about the mission and what they're about to be doing. I'm like, why are they doing it? But it just seems like, Psylocke basically brings up, like, are you sure we're doing this for, like, a real legit reason and not for some personal interest? And then it shows that, like, Hope is in, like, in a coma or something, so apparently she was, like, involved in the incident in Alexandria. They never really get into specifics about it, so it's kind of like, what? So like, to me, that was, like, one of the cool things I liked about Cable and X-Force, is, like, you had Cable and Hope, and you had this, like, cool story between the two, and then, like, you also had Colossus, Domino, Boom Boom, and Forge. I think that might be everybody. But, like, the only person that shows up from that is, Dr. Nemesis. Did I say Dr. Nemesis? Anyway, Dr. Nemesis is in here, everybody else is not. And then on Psylocke's side, you had, Storm, Puck, Spiral, Phantom X, and that might have been it. But anyways, like, nobody shows up from, like, Psylocke's team. She's the only one there. And then you have Dr. Nemesis, Cable. Like, it was very light as far as, like, who was in this issue. Well, I guess Phantom X is there, but he was it was weird because he was, like, the person that was the hostage or whatnot, or the person they went in to get, because that's the person who gave Cable the intel about what happened in Alexandria and whatnot, and, like, the tech they were using and how it was, like, important that they, or basically Cable just wanted to have that technology that they used on the mutant to, like, just go in and, like, knock out the lab and then leave them there, or whatever. So basically they're going to go take that from this, Phantom X gives them the intel after they rescue him that's on this plane that's always airborne, and that's how their operations go. It's like they go in with a bunch of drones, knock something out, go in and take something, and then they leave. And so they basically use Phantom X's ship to get onto the plane, and then they take the plane down with this device that Dr. Nemesis has cooked up, and then Marrow uses it, and it's basically like, it's her time to shine, and you have this scene where, like, Dr. Nemesis is like, I will never be able to explain this to you because you're too stupid. So that's pretty funny. But yeah, Marrow comes through, takes the plane down, and then they find out that the device or package that they stole from the facility in Alexandria was a mutant. So they're like, okay, well, it's a new weapon, new mutant, and then that's basically it. It's like to be continued. But for me, I don't really see like, I didn't really enjoy the first issue. Like, on such a level, I did not enjoy this level, like, issue. Like, that I'm just not gonna be picking up number 2 because it was just, it wasn't. I don't know, man. It was because the focal point for the whole story, for the most part, was Morrow, and she was a new character, and it's like, well, she wasn't even in the last series, and her dialogue and narration just came off as very annoying to me, and she felt like she felt very, like, psychotic, or just loose cannon and unhinged, and it just didn't flow or gel well with, like, the chemistry that had been in the last 2 teams, and that, and the fact that, like, Hope is on the sideline and, like, out of action. It's like, what? So there's no cool, like, interplay between Hope and Cable, which was really cool in the Cable and X-Force. And then I'm not seeing, like, too many of, like, the team members from Psylocke's team or Cable's team, so I'm not really sure who's all here. So it's like, I don't even know, dude. And then, like, the reveal at the end, they're like, oh, it's a mutant. That's okay. It's like, I'm Uncanny X-Men and X-Men are really good right now, so I can just drop X-Force and, like, not really be missing anything. Like, I had dropped Uncanny X-Force, like, after, like, right before they got to the Cassandra Nova arc, like right before they're about to go up against her, I just dropped it, and they like once they revealed who it was, I was just like, oh, okay, that's cool. But I just like stopped reading because I don't know, I fell behind on my books, so I was like, I'll just catch back up with it, and I did. I actually haven't gone back and read that arc, but yeah, I see no issue here with like dropping this for now, and then hopefully it gets better and I can just get back into it. But that was Cable and X-Force. And then the next book I'll talk about will be All New X-Men. So All New X-Men, Child of Jean Grey Part 3 picks up where the last issue left off, or the last, if you read the Child of Jean Grey Part 2, which was Guardians of the Galaxy, it wasn't that great of a tie-in, because basically it just gets you to the end of All New X-Men, the previous issue, which is Child of Jean Grey Part 1, so there wasn't a lot of, oh, this totally ties in with what's going on in All New X-Men right now, so you could have completely skipped the last issue of Guardians of the Galaxy and just jumped into this one, really, because it's just, Part 1 is basically the Jean Grey Skull gets attacked, Part 3 is, Part 2 is like the Guardians of the Galaxy get there, but they get there at the end of Part 1 anyway, so you don't get any new real sense of why this is happening, except for, you have like the whole Galactic Council thing that you have in Guardians of the Galaxy, where it's like the Badoon, the Spartax Empire, the Brood, the Freya and those people, and the what are they called? The Kree? The Kree and the yeah, I think that's it. Or Gladiator, the Kree are one in faction, and then like there's the whoever Gladiator represents, it's skipping my brain right now. But those people. The Shi'ar, that's it. The Kree and the Shi'ar. Okay, and that's like the Galactic Council, and they're all like, okay, well, the Phoenix is, well, not the Phoenix is back, but the host of the Phoenix, who destroyed these planets all these years ago, they're back. We should try them for their crimes against us, and they're pretty much already guilty. Or that's what was it Gladiator or somebody else? It was Gladiator, actually. So yeah, he's like, she already does it, or she did it, even though like this is but then that's the thing, is like it got kind of dumb, because it's like, she's from the past, therefore this hasn't happened yet with this person. Like, this person has not committed these crimes because the past version of this person, so this hasn't even happened. So it's like, what? So it got kind of dumb. That's kind of touched upon in that issue, because they're all like, well, she hasn't even done these things yet. Why are you even bothering with this? But yeah, back to Child of Jean Grey Part 3. So Scott Summers is having like this dream, Jean's there, and then he wakes up on the ship of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's like, what the F? Because there's all these aliens there. And then it's funny, because the whole time Iceman's like, yeah, there's this tree and it talks. And they're like, we're in space with aliens. And they're all like freaking out and like acting like, oh man, this is so amazing. It's just really funny. It's one of the things that like is funny with like all the X-Men, like when they do that, like they're a curveball about like, how they're from the past, so whenever they have a encounter with something from the present or something that is modern, they're like, whoa, this is so cool. But yeah, that's funny. And then it shows like Jean getting taken to the prison that the Shi'ar are putting her in until she's on trial. And basically it shows that they have this device that can, nullify her powers so she can't use them, right? Like she's in some bubble thing. It was weird. So then it shows the Guardians of the Galaxy and X-Men, and they're all talking about like what's going on. And then there's a Shi'ar ship, I think is a Shi'ar ship. I'm pretty sure it's a Shi'ar ship, and it like decloaks, attacks them, battle ensues in space. And then you have Gamora and Angela, I think. Drax, Angela, and Groot jump out the ship to like save the day. While that's happening, you have Jean Grey back on the Shi'ar ship that's imprisoned her, and she's talking to Oracle, who is also psychic, but she doesn't reveal that until she's had a chance to like read Jean Grey's thoughts and like all these things. And then Jean Grey flips out like, oh, you're reading my mind the whole time, and she gets really angry. And then Oracle takes note of that, and she's like, yeah, you really need to calm down on that anger you have, or that temper you have. Because that's like a theme in anything with all the X-Men, is like Jean Grey flips out all the time, and like she just uses her powers. Sometimes she means to, sometimes she doesn't. It's kind of weird, whatever. And then like from Battle of the Atom, it's like, hopefully she doesn't turn straight up evil like was seen in that miniseries, but we'll see. That's kind of like the thing is like, hopefully Jean Grey can like not turn evil. But yeah, that happens, and as Oracle's like looking into her mind to be like, oh, you don't even know what happens, so you have like no memory of this at all. So she's like, and then Jean Grey reads her mind, and then she's like, oh, so wait, no, you know, I'm not guilty. So you have to tell them all to stop and not put me on trial. And she's like, well, sorry, that's up to you during the tribunal. So yeah, that was weird. And then okay, and then something really cool happens. So when the Guardians are getting attacked, there's another ship that comes in, and they're like, hey, who's that? And then Star-Lord's all, is that who I think it is? I thought you were dead. And then the other guy's like, oh, I thought you were dead too. And it shows it's the Starjammer. I think it's called the Starjammer. Is that what it's called? Anyway, it's the pirate ship that Cyclops' dad, who is Christopher Summers, pilots, and he has like his own like band of pirates that he goes across the galaxy with. So that was really cool. And he's on the radio, and like when he's talking to Star-Lord, he's like blah 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 blah, I thought you were dead, blah 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 blah. And then Star-Lord's like, oh, Summers, I thought you were dead. And Cyclops is sitting right next to him, and he's like, Summers, why'd you call him Summers? Like, who are you talking to? And then like the very last panel is like, this is Major Summers. Who am I talking to? So like Cyclops doesn't know that that's his dad, and then I'm pretty sure that yeah. So it's like basically it's gonna be like a really cool issue. Hopefully next issue. That I thought that was a really cool touch, like what they did. So I'm looking forward to part 4. See like what happens with Cyclops and his dad that he doesn't know is in space. Just like when he saw Havoc and he didn't know his blah 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 blah. When he saw Havoc and he didn't know he was his brother. That was pretty cool. So I hope we get something cool like that happens. And then the other book, actually, I've only read 3/5 of my pull list from last week, so I still need to read Wolverine and the X-Men and what else is this? Avengers, but whatever. So the other book I read that I'm going to talk about is Batman 28, and it was really good. Like, so I'm instead of starting off with the best first, I started off with the worst, but I'm now on the best book of my, or I would say the pick of the week for last week. And it was basically a preview for Batman Eternal, which is going to be a weekly series, not a monthly series. So that's interesting. Because at first I was like, I don't know, but it's only $3, so it's like to have an awesome Batman story every week on top of whatever I'm reading, I'm totally in. Like if it was $4, I would not buy it. But $3 is like $3 is like nothing. So that's what, like $9 a month. That's it's not bad. Anyway, I'm not here to discuss the price, but basically we start off and we have Harper Row, and then she's like, it shows that it's like a police state, martial law on the streets of Gotham. There's a curfew in order, curfew in effect, and then she's apprehended by some police. She tells them something, and they're like, oh, she said the password, and then she gets into like this secret club or something, and she's like, whoa, what's going on? And then she's looking for help for her brother because he has some sort of infection, apparently. And I guess there's like, this is some disease that's going around Gotham. I'm not sure. There's a lot of vague things that they say. And so she's like, I'm here to see the boss. And then before that happens, so there's a dude who's like really big, and he's like, yeah, well, the password you gave is like 3 days out of date, so we're here to beat you up or something. Which is weird because it's like a kid. It's like you're pretty mean if you do that. And she's like, oh yeah, well I have something that will hurt you. And like she pushes the thing, the lights go out, lights come back, and it's Batman and a bunch of dudes unconscious. So that's like a great just Batman sequence. And it's like, oh, it's darkness, and then the lights come back on and everybody's knocked out. Well, not everybody, but all the dudes are about to like beat her up and stuff. And then a cool, awesome action sequence ensues where it's like just Batman, and it's revealed that Harper Row is this character named Bluebird, who is, I guess, Batman's new sidekick, so that's pretty cool. And then they also like have some radio communication with the Batcave, and like Batman's like, Cave, come in, blah 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 blah. But then you see someone at the controls, but you don't know who it is. So it's like, oh, who is it? So that's cool because it's not Alfred. So it's like, okay, it's not Alfred. Who is it? So secrets. And then and then like you shoot, and it shows like Bluebird has like these electric guns that she's shooting people with. They only like incapacitate people. They don't kill them. So it's pretty cool. And then her armor is really cool because it's a lot like Nightwing, but it's very similar to what Nightwing has, but not. I'm trying to put this into words, but it's just not coming out right. I'm sorry, but it's like a variation of the Nightwing armor. It's pretty cool. But yeah, she has some cool gadgets, and then her and Batman just team up, take out all the. I'm sorry, talking too fast. Her and Batman team up to take out all these dudes. It's a pretty cool action sequence. And then like Bluebird shooting dudes with electric shock stuff, and then Batman's beating dudes up. It's like, oh yeah, team up action, woo! And then all of a sudden someone's like, okay, enough of this. You came to talk to me. Well, here I am. And then like it's this lady there in the suit. And yeah, it's revealed that it's Catwoman, but she doesn't go by Catwoman anymore. She goes by Selina, so that's interesting. And so she and Batman talk a bit about stuff, and it like alludes a bit to like what might happen at the end of Forever Evil, because this is like after Forever Evil, so therefore it's like what happens at the end, who knows? Or we don't know now, but like, there's like hinting of what might have happened, and like why she's like so at odds with Batman right now, and stuff. And then so they have a bit of a conversation before there's a bit of a tussle there. And then, let's see. And like Batman and Bluebird are like, okay, well, we're here to see what's in the vault. Open the safe, blah blah blah. And they open it, and then there's something's there, but you're gonna have to read the issue to see what it is. I'm not even sure if this is like the full issue, because it says like at the end it's like the story begins in Batman Eternal #1 on Solstice April. So I'm not even sure if this was the full issue of this one, #1 for Batman, or this is #1 for Batman Eternal, I'm sure, but if this is like the full Batman Eternal issue that they're showing, or there's more to it, we'll see. But yeah, that was basically it for Batman number. What number was this? Dang it. Batman number. Hold on, I think it was 28. It wasn't 28, dude. It was 20 something. Oh, it was 28. Okay, so yeah, Batman 28. That would be my pick for last week. But yeah, that's all I read last week, and I will be back with my thoughts on this week's book, starting with Uncanny X-Men, because so good. I do really want to read Daredevil though, but Uncanny X-Men is like at the top, and then Daredevil, and then I think I'll read Unity. I'll read that after I read the first 3 issues, because I have no idea what's going on, so I don't want to jump into #4 and not have any idea, so this one might take a while, but whatever, it'll totally be worth it. The cover looks pretty cool, but yeah, that's it for this week's weekly comic talk, and check out the playlists to get the podcast I'm doing that has basically like the fill-ins for these, or not the fill-ins, but it's like when I'm not doing these, it's because I did a podcast that week where I talk about what I've been reading, so there's no point to double dip on the comic book video making. So I hope you enjoyed it, and then feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share with your friends or not. That's cool too. And until you hear or see from me again, I'll be back with part 2 of the comic book talk for this week. Later on, or uploaded later onto my channel. Thanks for watching and listening.